here is the Emma Ethan episode lore, okay? If you don't know the lore, this is the lore. If you know the lore, skip here for me to tell you what the episode is about. This is the lore. The reason we know Emma and Ethan dated was, one, the Polaroids, which I don't know about, and two, there was a picture in Emma's room, like a blown up big canvas of Emma and Ethan that someone posted like an interview of her in her room, and they did not edit it out. They did not blur it out. And then it immediately got taken down and blurred out, but we all saw it first. So here's what the episode was about. This was Emma's episode talking about all the meltdowns she's had, like the big, huge meltdowns she's had in her life. She's only had a couple. She said she's not a very angry person. And one of them was after her first boyfriend ever, when she was 17, broke up with her, and she literally thought her life was over. Normal, right? But she says like he kept playing with her head. They did the thing where you break up, but then she said she texted him. She reached out to him, and they got back together, and they were together for a second, and then they weren't together. And then she found out he was seeing other people. And then they would end up, hanging out with friends, James and Grayson. Sorry, that's who I think. And they're hanging out together. Well, just stay here. Just stay at my house. You stay overnight. You end up hooking up. She said this, okay? In the episode. She said the final straw, though, was one time she was trying to win him back, okay? She was trying to win him back, and finally he was like, you know what? I think we can be back together. And she got all excited, and she was like, oh my gosh, we're back together. Like, we're back together. And he was like, I won't call you my girlfriend, but we'll be back together. Manipulation. Crazy manipulation. Which, also, let me just say this. Ethan is married now. Move on, everyone. Move on. Move on. It's still fun to talk about for a second because they were children, okay? So after he said, I want to be back together, but I don't want to be your boyfriend, the next day, he just, wouldn't talk to her, really, for, a couple days. And so she finally called him one day. It was like, what's going on? You said you wanted to be with me, but you're not talking to me. And he was like, I actually don't want to be together. And then she said she cussed him out, said a bunch of bad stuff, and she hung up the phone on him. And then weeks went by, and he reached out to her and said, hey, and that's when she had a major blow up and called her dad and literally threw her phone across the room, and it shattered. So I love Emma because she gives us all the lore. You just have to wait a couple years, guys. Let me know if you have any other questions. The episode is called my mental breakdowns or my meltdowns, what my meltdowns have taught me. And it's from November 7th. And it was right at the beginning of the podcast. And I think people just missed it.